Hey there! Today we're going to have a look at another one of my personal pens, and today I want to look at the Leonardo Furore. The Furores were, I think, very popular when they came out, and I think understandably so. They're fun pens. So the initial, original Leonardo was the Momento Zero, but then it's not really a flat top, but it's a flat-ish top, right? And then the Furore came out, which was more rounded off, and I really like it. I love that shape. Now, this is the Smeraldo, the emerald finish, and I'll be honest, of all the pens I own, I think this may be in my top 3 of pretty pens. And the reason for that is this. If you just look at this side, it doesn't look spectacular. I mean, it's a nice material, but it's not spectacular. But now look at what happens when I rotate this and it catches the light. Yeah. Stellar. I absolutely love it. It's gorgeous, and I can't stop looking at it. That, a good shape, a good size, lightweight acrylic, so this is not a heavy pen, it won't wear out your hand. Posted, lovely size. I typically go for bigger pens, but this to me, a superb size, very comfortable for everyday use, longer writing sessions. The pen won't wear out your hand. The material lines up beautifully. Darker patches, lighter patches, beautiful. This one happens to have a, I want to say 14 or 18, I always forget, 14 karat nib. That's my only gold Leonardo nib. It's fantastic. It's a stub, it's nice line variation, writes really smoothly. I just love this pen, and I love inking it up, and this paired with a turquoise ink is just a joy, absolute joy to use. So I would say that's more than enough talk. Let's see this pen in action. Now you know why it's in my collection. This is a vanitas vanitate, omnia est vanitas. Seriously, this is a vanity pen. It's just pretty. It's pretty! And that's why I love it. But to be honest, it's also a great writer. So there's very little flaws to find in that pen in my mind. Anyway, let's see how it writes. Look at that. Look at how beautifully that catches the light. This is such a stellar material. I love it so much. Beautiful. I one day want to have a Leonardo Grande in the Furore model, and it should be this material, and it would be stellar. Anyway, enough of this useless flattery. Let's actually see how it writes. Great size pen, that's what I really like about it. It's very comfortable posted, it's quite light. And this is the only Leonardo I have with the 14K nib on it. All my other Leonardos have the steel nibs. So what's this about? Well, of all the Leonardo nibs, this is probably my favorite. So here we have the Leonardo Furore with the 14K stub, and the ink is Leonardo turquoise. So I'm just going to write down turquoise if you don't mind. What a great writer. It's just such a lovely nib. It was a little dry. I made it a little bit wetter, but in the original review you can see what it wrote like out of the box. I love it this way. What a great nib. It's just such a lovely line variation without any pressure. I mean, as you would expect from a stub, but it's very nice, and it's super smooth. A really pleasant writer, and of course now it is a bit wetter than it was initially, but that was the point of making it wetter. Even before I made it wetter, it was by all means very usable. It's just that I wanted it a little wetter than it was. That sounded a lot scratchier than it was when I'm writing on the back of my notebook. So, yeah, lovely pen, and it is, again, it's such a beautiful material. The way this catches the light is stellar. It just reminds me of galaxies or star fields or something. It's beautiful. I guess a more logical choice would be ocean, but for me, beautiful. I love it so much. So there you have it. One of my favorite pens, one that is inked up a lot. For the record, because I know that some of you would ask, you can actually make the chatoyance facets line up. Beautiful. So there you have it. I hope this was useful, and I'll gladly see you later.